Stayed on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread.
The weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They'll start with the option. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd and 7, Fields. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Well, CD, when you combine accuracy with a big arm, you get throws like that. And Justin Fields may very well be making these kinds of plays at the pro level for years to come.
And we knew that they'd try to attack the secondary, but I'm not sure that we thought they'd do it right on the first drive of the game. But here they saw an opportunity, seized it, and it's a big play right off the bat.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, Fields. He's got a man. It's his fullback. Touchdown, Bears! Kari Blossomgame, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears are on the board first here this afternoon. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
It has to feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. First and 10 now for the Falcons, and Mariota at their own 25-yard line. They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down. The Falcons at 3-7 now in the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
The tackle by Robert Quinn.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Mariota. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Fields. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Well, that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. So he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Byron Pringle with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Santos to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Falcons nothing.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Patterson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Algier will try to pick it up. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First and 10, it's Patterson. And he'll take this down to the 33.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. That was Eddie Jackson on the safety blitz, dropping the quarterback.
Well, if the goal is to get back into this game, the offense is certainly moving in the wrong direction. This is certainly a case where one team He needs big splash plays right now, but unfortunately, it's the other team that's getting them.
Third and long here for Mariota. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3. They'll go. It's Patterson. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Hey, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Fields going to keep it once more. And he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Montgomery running right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Fields. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Fields. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. And the Patriots are out to an early lead there over the Jets. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. From the 41, Mariota. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
Third down, here's Patterson. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On fourth down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Bears take over.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to throw, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago. Darnell Mooney, 65 yards. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0.
Bears 21, Falcons nothing. Santos to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mariota. This one left side caught by Patterson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Running left, here's Patterson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On On 2nd and 12, Mariota. And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Mariota. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
And the Bears are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. And, Charles, you know, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
And they'll begin by running the option. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And this will be a Falcons 1st down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, Patterson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Patterson running between the tackles. And he's got some space here.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 71 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the 3rd quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Jalen Johnson.
The 20.
And the Bears are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable 1st half that's carried over with an interception to begin the 2nd half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
This carry, despite the extra effort, will be stopped short of the 10. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left. Montgomery will take it in. Touchdown, Bears. So he had the nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Santos now to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
Makes the score Bears 28, Falcons 0. Santos to kick off for Chicago.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Cordero Patterson. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. 129 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Handoff running left, Patterson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Once more, they turn to Patterson. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Cordero Patterson. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are able to cut into that deficit. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And they'll run the option to start the drive.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown. Dante Pettis, 75 yards. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. From out of his end zone, it's Avery Williams. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Here's Patterson again. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Mariota to throw it. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Montgomery on the counter. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Fields. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Falcons are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot. Not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. To throw again on second down, Mariota. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On second down, a run with Patterson. And they'll get him down right about the 20.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
The Falcons on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
65 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's the option, running right, and he is going to lose yardage here. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Just 21 yards on the punt there.
And it will be Falcon football.
First down 10 at their own 26-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. They'll go again with Patterson. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Chicago, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.
Your goals, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah. Put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach. Put me in the game. They put me in, so I'm going in. You play for fun, I'm playing to win. Back on the wall, I'm ready for war. If I beat them before, I could beat them again. They thought I was done, I went on a run and beat all the odds and got even again. Watch what you say, I'm not one of them. When I jump in my bag, I could jump out the gym. Take a look at my legacy, I gotta let them see I'm out here winning, cause I'm on a mission. Put me in the game, cause the way I'm feeling, I honestly do not see no competition. I gotta get it, so it ain't no quitting. We jumped off the benches and jumped in the trenches. No one is better than all of us, and that's why all of us been winning from the beginning. It's more than a game, don't play with my name. You come with your goals, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah. Put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey, coach. Put me in the game.
Something done woke up in me. I've been going crazy. I've been doing my thing. They not ready for me. Y'all been playing with me. No time for the silly games. Damn, it really must be so intimidating. But I gotta be great. That's the God up in me.